Okay, so I wanted to make this video specifically about the things that have been going on in terms of AI. And I guess this is the best time because this is the news that we see. Funnily enough, I don't know if we are living in such a comedic timeline that the Xbox CEO, Asha Sharma, who just fired maybe around, I think, 3,000 people or so. Let me just point to where we have the exact numbers, maybe. Okay, so we have a number here 3,200 employees or so. And now she's going to lead a task force for US jobs. And she has been chosen to advise the Federal Reserves on the job. So I don't know what could be more ironic than this. Maybe we are living in this Homer Simpson's timeline or so. And it's been crazy. I guess I have collected like a few of these things that we I really wanted to talk about because if you go online, you can find like a bunch of them all over the places or so. So just to go like what we are going to talk about, so we have this instance here. Okay, somehow Ford decided that all of the engineers that we have, so we're just gonna fire like 300 or 350 engineers, and we're gonna use AI to optimize everything else. And now they're scrambling to hire some of the people's back. And it's crazy to me that they're doing this kind of thing. Like, I don't know who's the person who's advising them on these kind of things. And this is not just one isolated instance or so. So we have already counted two. Okay. This is another problem that we see. Taco Bell was thinking of planning, or actually not even thinking, they actually were using an AI system to get the people's orders. So what is, if you think about it, okay, this is the most mundane task that you could use AI for, right? That you could just get the orders from people and then you can supplement those orders. And what do we have here? Of course. So people started to test the system. Okay. Somebody just randomly went ahead and ordered 18,000 cups of water in place. What happened? Well, the system crashed. It's like, this is the most basic use case that we can think about, right? A simple AI chatbot or so. And this is not the first instance of this thing failing. Okay. We have a similar thing from McDonald's actually. And they have been trying to basically do a test plan to make sure that this thing works with IBM. Of course, IBM, one of the leading companies in the USA. Like, who else would you work with? And turns out that after thorough, thoughtful review, they have decided that they are going to end this global partnership with the IM. Of course, it makes sense, right? Because so I'm not a technology denier. I actually work as a very technical specialist, and I believe in this thing. But I mean, how could you even not foresee these kind of things? You have billions of dollars in your budgets. You have people who are working in strategy, in transformation office, people who are specialists, people who know about this field, and somehow you keep making these kind of scenarios for yourself. Another crazy thing. So Starbucks decides that, okay, we have this kind of inventory system where usually I think they are using people to feed this system to the data that, okay, what are we running low on? What do we need for the next order? What are we going to do tomorrow or so? And they decided that they are going to use this AI system to basically do the inventory for them. And it fails miserably again. So this is like the most basic use case you could think of. And these are not just few instances that I have picked up. The internet is full of these cases, okay? And one of the things I feel like nobody's realizing through all of this that how many mass layoffs we have been having till now. You could hear about Doja, right? They failed. They did like a bunch of thousands of people for layoff from all of the industries or so. And there is like a very credible article written by people. Actually, I'm not going to go much into details of this thing because I think it's very necessary for every person who's watching this video to go by themselves and read like how Doja failed. So basically, they were firing a lot of people saying that, oh, we have this social security fraud, this and that. There is no credible evidence at all. There have been studies done by bigger platforms like Harvard, Stanford, and nothing. We are not saving anything. Another example is Klarna. Okay, so how many times have you actually gone to a chatbot on, maybe let's say you were trying to order something on an e-commerce platform or so, and you just are trying to actually get to a person like a human to talk to because somehow the AI is not able to do any of the basic stuff. So just to talk about, yesterday I had an incident that my package has been delayed for like 4 or 5 days from Amazon or so. Okay, and it asked me to go and check on the platform of the delivery people. So for example, if you're using DPD or something else, okay, that assistant is not able to help me at all. And I just want to get my information like, why is my parcel stuck? Because I asked them to deliver this parcel to an Amazon delivery box or so. It shouldn't be a big deal, right? The delivery guy should just go and drop this package. Somehow they are marking my packages as like the person not being home. That makes no sense, right? Because it's an Amazon delivery delivery package or so, and they just have to drop it at the Amazon delivery stop. And it's crazy to me that it took me half an hour to actually get in touch to an executive, and it's not even I could get in touch because of the chatbot or so. I have to call them now because, for example, in the other times you could just go on a chat, talk to the person, be able to resolve this problem. And now I actually have to take my time out to be able to, like, okay, first I have to find where is the contact. These companies are making so difficult to actually get in contact to a human because it took me such a long time to actually find a contact or so, and it was not on the website. They are just always making me in this kind of loop, so I have to go outside of the platform to actually look for this number or so. It's been crazy, like what they are deciding to do. And to go on this uh to go further on this thing, okay, because I think that I'll be making multiple videos specifically going on the diabolical shit that has been going on. But somehow the AI companies, or let's say the companies, have decided, or the CEOs or the CTOs have decided, that we are going to fire all the junior people, or we are going to stop hiring people from junior positions, and we are only going to hire people for, let's say, senior positions or so. But I don't know if they even took a couple of minutes to understand the most simplistic business cases. How do you develop a senior? Okay, so it's not that they're going to spawn out of thin air or so, like somebody's going to get 10 years of experience or so. You have to hire somebody out of the college, or a junior person without a degree or so, and you have to train them, and they have to get context. They have to work there for years to understand like how the business works, how the systems are being made. Imagine if you're building a big software with a lot of microservices or so. Till now, as a person who has been a software developer also, there is no proper software which can actually go through all the microservices and give you the full context. You need to have people who actually have the context of the situation. And there is so much knowledge from a person, which is not just about reading the code or so. There are people who have context of how the microservices and everything was actually designed. There is so much knowledge in their brain that once you fire these people, that knowledge is completely gone. Okay. And if you're not going to hire a junior person or so, right? How are you supposed to make a senior out of them? You think that, okay, I'm just going to fire all the junior people and I'm going to make them work with the AI or so, and somehow the seniors are going to spawn in. Like 5 years from now, how are you going to hire those people? And this is one of the good highlights that you could read, probably, that the entry level hiring is down 80%. And you could imagine like what is happening with the people who are graduating with a degree right now, because everybody was told, right, that if you have any kind of degree, at least you can find a job or so, right? At certain point, it started that you need to have a tech degree or so. But at this point, the junior roles are being completely demolished for all kind of people. It's not about the person who's learning history. It's not the person who's actually trying to be a teacher or so, but also the people who are working in tech. So nobody is safe. Technically, you could make an argument that, oh, it has been the same when the industrialization happened, right? Because technically you had the machines or so. But if you actually think about the nuance of this argument, that at that time we were specifically targeting a specific kind of job. So imagine the industry comes up, the blue collar job workers were, let's say, in this kind of situation that they can't do anything about it. Right now, the industry is being impacted in all fronts. So it's not that AI is just gonna go for the tech people. It's basically going in any kind of job that an entry person could do. You could think about it, any kind of profession or so. So the impact is super high because, okay, you are being, if you think about the professions, okay, you have people who work in the editing industry, you have people who work in the tech industry, you have people who are, let's say, they don't have a lot of technical let's say, implications or skills, but they were still being human, who were being helping for the support roles or so. Right now you don't have those kind of things. They are also being impacted with this kind of thing. So at what point does it stop? And do you think that somehow when we have like 20-30% of unemployment rate, everything is going to fix itself? Even during the Great Depression, we had like 20-30% or so unemployment rate, and you could see like how worse it turned out for the people. And we somehow are thinking that if we are going to eliminate all the jobs, somehow everything is going to be fine. Like, who's going to buy your products, right? How are you going to make money out of it if you think that we are going to just eliminate all the jobs? Nobody has money now to spend and to buy things. And one last thing I also wanted to discuss. Okay, now we have to talk about these consulting companies who are being hired with big companies, even by the government, to actually do their project. So we have an example of very big company, Deloitte, which has like thousands of call centers. Okay, they have been caught using AI to make reports for the Australian government, and this is not the first instance. There have been multiple instances, and the researchers have flagged so many hallucinations in it. So technically, what used to happen is that these big companies who don't want to do the project by themselves, they will hire external companies like Deloitte, KPMG, Accenture, McKinsey, and these people would come inside the house and they will try to understand the system and they will try to help. Now, these companies themselves have been caught using AI, and it's not just about using AI or so. It's about that the data that they are using is completely filled with hallucinations or so. So, what is the end game here? We're just going to fire everybody else. We're just going to do a lot of layoffs, and somehow the system is going to work. Imagine if you have a high unemployment rate, or so people don't even have money to eat, or people don't have to do groceries, renting places, or so, renting a house, or so. How's the situation going to turn out? So I guess I'm getting very riled up here, but I think I'll make a few more videos about this thing, especially talking about the layoffs, the industry right now, and how the CEOs are being delusional. For example, that you also have a great example of somewhere here. I also found out a news about Uber. Okay, so how Uber was the first one going ahead. Oh, okay, we are gonna use all the AI to do all our tech job or so. In a couple of months, they have already blown their whole year's budget for 2026 or so. And somehow they were thinking, okay, if we are going to, let's say, fire or lay off a lot of people, we can just use AI to fix our job. So this token system itself, right? It's not very plausible to do this job if you think about it, if you're spending millions of dollars on the token system or so. And that's why there are so many instances where the companies have to go back and then they have to rehire these people or so. And I hope the people that they are rehiring are asking for higher wages or so, because now they understand that this is not a good system. You cannot rely on any company or so. So yeah, I was pretty much outraged about this thing because I've been reading a lot about this and I've been thinking about making videos out of it. So yeah, I'm going to put this video out. I'm going to try to make more information regarding this thing to give you more context if you have not been reading a lot about this thing, because I've been pretty much very active on this forefront or so. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Let me know what you think about this kind of situation or so.